welcome to my first YouTube video on Dragon Village M boss fight, clan boss fight, Incarnation of Sins. We're going to go over some basic strategies and how to survive, because right now everybody looks like they're dying in like the first 2 minutes, and instead you need to be like Batman in the Batman vs Superman trailer. Anyway, so let's go over from the very beginning everything. So the tamer you want is Mikoji. The reason why you want her is because she increases your defense. She also increases attack speed, and that stacks as the battle continues, because as the battle goes on, the increase to attack speed that your dragons gets increases, which scales over time. And that's not so true with all the other tamers, and you want that defense more than anything else. So the next step is what to do for each of your raid parties. Your first raid party has to have this front forward T formation for defense. Okay, and the reason why it needs to have that is because it's the best way to absorb the forward laser beams from the boss. So that boss is going to be shooting those laser beams this way, and also if your bottom team goes down, the little blast from the little demons or what sin beast is going to be coming up this way like that. So we want to figure this out. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a tank in the bottom area right here, and that's going to help absorb those shots that you're going to get from the little beasts. So we're going to put our tank right there, and then, well, I wouldn't use him, but anyway, we're going to use Fire Bagma. She's a support type. It doesn't have to be a defense type, just somebody who has very high defense. We can click on her. Her defense right now is 8,000, so you want somewhere between like 6,000 to 8,000 defense for this position. Now you can have a team that focuses on hit points if that's all you have, but I've just found that defense works better than anything else. Now I'm also going to put my water NX. If I had a different smart dragon, I'd put a smart dragon here and put the leadership bonus as defense, but right now all I have is NX, and I need to use my smart dragon on my second party, so we'll go over that. But if I could and had two smart dragons, I'd put one up here as my second healer. So we got a tank. I'd suggest bare minimum 2 to 3 healers at the most. This party is just designed to take and absorb all the damage from that front laser beam and just stay up. We're not even going to control them. They're going to be on auto the entire time. I typically use Neroth up here. Now what he's going to do is put damage over times on the boss, and that's just going to consistently do 3,000 damage a tick. The last position is pretty much up to you. You can put in another healer. You can put in another support if you want to put in another support. I think for this battle that I'm going to record, I'm going to just use a DPS dragon just to get a little bit extra damage, because I know these guys are going to stay up and I don't have to worry about them. Your formation buff obviously going to be the defense. Make sure this is enhanced all the way so that you are absorbing as much damage as you can. Okay, so defense, defense, defense. Unfortunately, like I said, we're going to go with hit points, but it keeps them up, and I don't care as long as they stay up. Alright, so your bottom team. This is the team we're going to control. How you do this is by clicking on the bottom button there. If you want to control the top team, you click that button. If you want to control the bottom team, you click this button. And this is the team we want to control all the time. It helps us manage the damage, and it's going to help us to regulate everything that happens in this fight. So again, you want this guy to be your tank. This is your tank for this team. Alright, all your damage is going to be coming from the Sin Beast this way. Alright, the laser blasts are going to come this way. And it seems to me that the laser blasts target a dragon each time. Now, I don't have this team set up for defense, because if I did that, then the dragons would be hit by the laser beams more times than in the attack position. You'd be taking more damage. Those lasers come through, they target each dragon individually. All right, so as they're getting lasered, for instance, if this guy was being targeted, he would get hit, the dragon in this position would get hit, the dragon in this position would get hit. So 3 dragons would be hit just on the one that's targeting him, and the same for these 2. So that's 3 lasers hitting 3 dragons, and only this laser is going to hit 1 dragon. This laser coming down here is going to hit 2, possibly 3. So there's no way that this defense position or formation is going to benefit you over the attack one. So we're going to set that up for attack. Again, just make sure it's enhanced. The other benefit of the attack position is we're going to gain that extra damage. These are our damage dealers. That's the whole point, they're there. So we got your tank here. We want 2 healers. Again, I'm going to put Smart Dragon here because I need that defense buff. This whole point of this dragon fight is just to survive. Alright, now we're going to go over some different dragons here in a little bit. But Hurricane Dragon is one of the best dragons you can have for this bottom position because she does damage over time. And we're going to talk about that a lot in just a minute. So she puts up 2 damage over times on 4 targets. That's 8 damage over times. Every single half second or quarter second, you're going to see 3,000 damage bleed on each of those 4 beasts for each bleed effect. Now you also see that there's some damage or effect resistance going on there. I've got effect accuracy runes on her to counter that. Her effect accuracy is 73%, so that's going to help make sure those bleeds are on there. Also, you want to kind of focus on her defense. A lot of these dragons should be focused on defense runes in all their slots. Alright, so our last 2 spots. We're going to have another healer here. I really like Lady Dragon. So we'll go over real quick Lady Dragon as a healer. Okay, she's just a 3-star. I've only got her at 5-star right now, level 50. She will last the entire fight. And the reason why is because she has a passive heal. So when she's attacking, there's a 10% chance, plus because she's level 5, it's actually a 20% chance that she's going to heal your ally who has the lowest hit points by 14%. Every single chance she attacks, she has a 20% chance. And as I said, as this boss fight goes on, it gets faster and faster, and that will proc more and more. I barely even have to click her, and she will be one of my top healers. There's 2 types of the Lady Dragon that you can use. You can use the water type, or you can use the dark type. They both have this power of fellowship ability. Alright, that's what you want to look for. The last spot in this fight is going to go to my Fire Drake and, Lightning Dragon. He's just a fire type. So the reason I use him is because he scales with attack speed. So as the fight goes on, he attacks faster, his attacks do more damage. He also has a passive, so when I'm attacking there's a 20% chance to inflict damage to the front 3 enemies. Alright, and then, like I said, that's going to proc more and more as the fight goes on. So I'm going to put Lady Dragon back there. So these are going to be my 2 teams. This team's set up to take the big laser blast. This team's the one I'm going to manage, and they're the ones that are going to do the damage. So we'll show you that in a little bit. So let's just go over some basic dragons that we can use for this fight, because I understand that not everybody has the same dragons. So we're going to go with the defense types, and I'm just going to pop this guy out here because pretty much everybody can get him. Alright, and that is the Hungry Dragon. So you might be saying, why would I use a 3-star Hungry Dragon as a tank on a raid boss? And there's 2 reasons. The first reason is he's one of the only defense types that puts up DOT effects on the enemies. 50% chance to put 3 bleed effects up on that boss as a tank, which is really good. The other reason why is because when recovering, target receives damage reflection effect. So that damage reflection effect, if you want to know what that does, you can click on that little button right here, at the bottom of the screen that says status effect. Okay, and the reflect only receive 80% of damage from the enemy and return 20% of the damage to the attacker. So the tank is actually going to do damage just by sitting there getting hit, and he's going to take 80% of that damage, not the full 100%. Okay, and then also he recovers every set duration. He recovers some of his hit points, and his passive is to increase his defense. So like I said, you want to max out that defense on that bottom team. The dark type is the only one of the Hungry Dragons that does that. Now, better than him would be the Frost Dragon, and he would be the water type, not the light type. Sorry about that. So what does he do? Same thing. He's going to put a DOT 50% chance on 5. 5 enemies could be dotted by him. All right. As he puts up these ice shards every 10 seconds, he's going to take less damage, and he also, again, gains the damage reflection every 10 seconds. So it's always up. 100% of the time, he's going to be reflecting damage. And so that's pretty much your best of the best tanks for dealing damage on that bottom team. All right. And it just helps to have those DOTs, because other dragons like Neroth can spread those DOTs. We take a look at our support types, and we look at Neroth, and I'm more familiar with the dark type, but anyway. So what he's going to do is his ability, all harmful effects on the target are copied onto 2 other enemies. So not only is he doing DOT the ones that are DOT'd, he's going to DOT 2 other enemies, and his attack is going to gain more bonus damage from doing that. All right. So let's go over just real quick some of the dragons that do DOT damage. So these are going to be your support types and a few damage types. All right. So support type Mellow Dragon. His little attack right here called Hawk Missile is a passive that puts up DOTs. We've got water type Bagma, who also passively puts up DOTs every single time that someone casts a mana ability with a mana skill of 2. Fury of the Forest is going to instantly recharge and instantly recast. Alright, so you're always, as long as people are casting abilities in that bottom team, and they're only going to cost 2, which is all my guys there except for the Fire Drake, he's going to constantly put up DOTs without me even using an ability. It's just completely passive. Alright, another support type. Most of these DOTers are support type. Cupid Dragon, he's going to DOT right here on Heart Attack, passive. Again, this is just the fire type, and then also light type is going to do it too. We already went over Neroth. Both Neroths are going to do the DOT. Alright, and then we obviously have Hurricane with her ability. Now she has to actually do the ability to do that. And then we've got our final one was going to be an attack type. And this is, as far as I know, the only attack type with this ability. And it's really, really good. It's the Jet Dragon. This is only the light attribute Jet Dragon. Alright. So what he does is... Oh, man, now it's not going to show me. Okay, here it is. So you have to have him 6-starred and adulted. But his Sonic Boom has an 80% chance to inflict DOT damage for 25 seconds. And if he's already suffering from a DOT damage effect, you're going to multiply that damage by 1.3 times. So he is brutal on those DOTs. That's kind of who I would have instead of my Fire Drake if I could pick and choose what dragons I could use. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. So if you can pick up those dragons, like I said, the dark type, if you need a tank, you don't have a tank, and you're looking for someone, pick up the Hungry Dragon, try him out, and give that a whirl. Alright, so let's get into the actual raid fight right now. Just going to hit start battle here. And I'm going to control the bottom team. In the beginning here, I'm not going to take much damage, so make sure that auto's off. We're going to wait for Lightning Drakes. You can just click it. I shouldn't have aimed it, but either way, it really doesn't matter. Now the next one will be Hurricane. Get those bleeds up. You'll see that effect resist, but now you'll start seeing those bleeds pop. I'm going to use my tank so I can reduce their damage and defense. And then you can see those bleeds just ticking away. And now I'm going to focus making sure her bleeds stay up there so I can get this boss to bleed. Again, another effect resist even with her stats up there. It doesn't matter. So it looks like I am actually taking a little bit of damage. Maybe Lady Dragon isn't healing as much, so I'll just pop a heal. Now I'm going to wait to use my Tamer's ability. Put that up there. And the reason why I want to wait is because you do more damage as the fight goes on, and I really don't need her defense decreased right now this second. And again, you don't have to aim this. It's worse if you do, because you're not going to always guarantee that you're going to get all those targets in a row. Alright, so there she goes, weak point. And we're about to get another laser blast. I just watch the hit points down here, those little hit point bars. And if one of them goes too low, and then I pop it, I save my mana, and now I'm ready to go again. Now, one other trick I can do, not really, but you can pop this guy's ability, reduce their defense, and then with a lower defense, they're going to take more damage. So I'm going to pop the Drake's ability right after this. And then I'm going to check my hit points. Looks like I could use a heal. Alright, now we're down to a minute 35. I'm going to pop her ability right now. Okay. And this time I'm going to save up my mana. I'm not going to use my tank's ability because it's going to get harder as she goes nuts. One. Okay, and we'll put up the dots. Put that up. And hopefully have enough mana to heal through it. Okay, looks like we're in good shape for the next half minute. I'm not sure on the exact intervals of those weak point laser blasts, but I'm guessing it's about every 30 seconds. Alright, looks like we're getting hurt pretty bad again. But I want to keep those dots up. Now this is when it comes to be really a tough decision between do I do damage or do I keep my team alive, because really I'm just doing auto attacks if I'm just healing. But it looks like they took somebody down up top, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, I'm going to save it here. Save up my mana. Wait for my guys to get zapped a little bit. Okay, we got a couple seconds left. I do another heal, and then we're just going to go all out because this is pretty much it. We got 35 seconds left. Looks like they took out my rear guy up top. That's okay. Now you can notice that my Lightning Drake is going to be doing a lot more damage at the very end. We're going to try and keep those guys alive as long as we possibly can and try and make it to that end. Let's see, it looks like the shield's back up. Now there's no point in putting dots up anymore. I've got 16 seconds left on the clock. I can pop his ability one more time. 13 seconds. 4, 3, heal, crap. Okay, 8 seconds left. Hopefully, yes, just enough time for the support team to get some extra mana in there. And looks like we're going to be last into the very end. It's probably going to get real messy real fast, but that's okay. We made it. I'll take a 12 million any day. And that's pretty much it. It was a real smooth battle. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I hope that was helpful. A couple last things to note. So the reason for the DOTs and those dragons and why to focus on those for damage is because it doesn't matter what boss you're fighting, what type he is. Those DOTs are going to affect it no matter what. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the Gale Dragon fire type for support. She can put up 9 DOTs if she is an adult at 6 star. It's probably one of the higher DOT effects in the game right now, and I suggest using her. The other thing that I want to mention is when you're preparing for this bottom team, you know, if I'm fighting the light type dragon, the Incarnation of Sins, I'm probably going to end up actually picking somebody like Hades, you know, dark type Hades, who obviously is going to do better. You know, that's why the little green up arrows there. He's going to be better, all right, at doing damage than my Fire Drake is. And so I'll put him in there, but only because I've got his damage skill maxed. If it was somebody else, you know, they're going to suggest a whole bunch of things. You know, they're going to say, you know, this guy's best. If I recommend formation, it's going to give me this formation, and these guys are going to get wasted. This team is not going to last. So don't do that. You know, you're better off picking and choosing the dragons you want. Anyway, that's the end of this. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.